What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? So the regular season 2016 NFL is over. We're going into the wild card now. I want to say Happy New Year to everyone as we look to the road to the Super Bowl 51, which will go through the Patriots and the Cowboys because, respectively, they have the best records in the NFL. We're going to go ahead and start off with the Ravens and the Bengals. Now, Marvin Lewis is running up at the mouth. He's saying that he's going to be back. Why he will be back, I have no idea. I'm very happy to report that, Chip Kelly is fired. We'll get to that soon. Gary Kubiak is retiring. The Broncos really, they didn't perform the way that they should have. They got rid of Mark Sanchez, who proved in Dallas that he can still play. And I've always said that, he's a talented player, but he just, he's prone to turnovers. But the Ravens, it was Steve Smith's senior's last game. He cried. It was all, very emotional. But the bottom line is he was horrendous for his last game, but it's over. It is what it is. His career is over. I think he had a very marvelous career. I think for his height, he showed tremendous poise, tremendous strength, made a name for himself where a lot of other receivers haven't. Is he a Hall of Famer? I think he is. I think he meant a lot to every team that he played for as a wide receiver. I think his guts, his grittiness changed games. That's my opinion. Like I said, you don't have to win a championship to go to the Hall of Fame, but it helps. But Steve Smith Sr., regardless where he played, even at his age right now, he was very, very good. Huge competitor. I just think that he belongs to the Hall of Fame. Let me know in the comments if you believe it also. Texans and the Titans. Tom Savage, he was injured. Well, concussion protocol, came back. Brock Osweiler was trying to win the game. We all know he sucks. He should be cleared for the playoffs. Tom Savage, I just love his name. I hope he's successful because his name will be so good to go and make a lot of cash with. Tom Savage, like what other name would you rather have? Dude's a savage out here, especially in 2017 with all the trends with Savage. But the Texans don't look good. They're not going to win anything. Congratulations to them making the playoffs, but we all know they're not winning anything. Let's just be honest about it. They're not going to do anything at all at any time, and pretty much their season is a wrap. They're going to make some money for their playoff game, and they're done. Titans have been a complete disappointment. Obviously, Mariota has, he fractured his fibula. He's done. But they had more than enough opportunities. They beat a lot of good teams. They should be in the playoffs. They're not. It is what it is. We have to move on from that. I don't know what to look forward to with the Titans. I don't know how Mariota will be coming off injury. But I do know this. Their offensive line is ready to go. DeMarco Murray can still ball. Derrick Henry, maybe he'll be able to play up to par soon. And get more snaps, but I don't know what to think about the Titans. Nobody does. But didn't their head coach get fired also? A lot of people got fired. I want to give a shout out to the NFL because a lot of these teams are listening to my podcast secretly, and they're taking my advice. They're firing the right coaches. They're making the right moves, and I think that it's going to help the teams. I really think that it'll help morale with the actual players, the fans, because you don't want to see the same guy on the sideline and your team is losing every week. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't think it's fair to the fans, and I appreciate the NFL. I know you guys are listening. Let me know when you need me to come down for an interview. GmiasWorld definitely be down there, and we can get it popping for the people because these coaches need to be addressed. These players need to be addressed, and we need to do more for the fans because I don't think the fans are appreciated enough with these losing franchises. They still pay those salaries by coming out there, regardless of what their lifestyle is, and supporting it. So they deserve a little bit more. Panthers and the Buccaneers. The Panthers were a huge disappointment this year. Cam Newton, whatever you want to call him. He played decent, wasn't good enough. Their offensive line was trash. Overall, I was disgusted with the Panthers' gameplay. I actually predicted this last year when they lost the Super Bowl because of Cam Newton not jumping into the pile. I thought that would just be sort of a representation of what their season would be this year. Because if your leader is not willing to jump into that pile right there, I don't think that your team is going to be successful because they're going to feed off of that. And I didn't like that Cam Newton to jump into that pile, and it followed him. Regardless of what you guys want to say, it followed him into this season, and I'm living proof of that. I said it. People didn't like it. The Panthers suck. I know their O-line was garbage. I know the defense was here and there, whatever like that. Josh Norman not being, whatever. I don't care. You can make a lot of excuses. The bottom line is Cam Newton, he wasn't the leader that he should have been this season. Buccaneers, they end the season pretty well. Jameis Winston, I love his upside. I love his emotion. If he's able to bottle it up a little bit, and not really, run around like a maniac and just, attack people and act crazy and just lead by example, the Buccaneers have a lot, to look forward to. But he's a hothead. You know what I'm saying? He's the guy that you cut off in traffic and then he follows you. Bro, sometimes just leave it alone, man. Like you're an NFL quarterback. You've made it. Focus on being the best that you can be and let things go. That's the major thing that people don't understand. As you attain your goals, you have to be able to let more things go. You can't let the same things bother you as you reach success, else you'll never appreciate your success because you don't have to deal with a lot of the other things anymore. You see what I'm saying? Jameis Winston is still acting like, he's a rookie bro, cut it out. Stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, feed your teammates on the field. That's what you need to do. If he feeds his teammates on the field with his emotion when he's angry and he channels it into positive energy, you guys don't want to play the Bucs. You know what I'm saying? They got a solid defensive line. Their receiving core they can take a little bit more of their receiving core, but the Buccaneers is not a bad team. If you just look at it, I've been saying that for a while now. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, you have to look at the pieces, and I think that Jameis Winston, he's what that team needs right now at quarterback. Just calm down a little bit, bro, and use it for positive energy. Browns and the Steelers. Obviously, the Steelers didn't play their starters, and the bench somehow took care of the Browns. RG3 is a bum. That's not something that we should be surprised about. Why am I calling Bob the Third? Bob. Just call him Bob. The dude is a bum. I don't expect the Browns to bring Bob back. Hugh Jackson, I don't really, if I'm the GM, owner of the team, whatever, for the Browns, people have asked me, recently, yo, bro, would you fire Hugh Jackson? And I'm here to tell you that I possibly would fire him. And I'm going to tell you why I would fire him. A lot of these games that they lost, the Browns could have won those games. It was decisions that he chose to make in specific parts, like, not playing the right quarterback in the half, taking this guy out. When you start to lose, the one thing that you have to understand is consistency. You have to look at the reason that you're losing. Now, I know RG3 went down after game one, whatever. He was out for a while. RG3 is a bum. So it's very, very difficult for me to say he shouldn't be fired because you have to know as a head coach, like, we want to see RG3 play, but at the same time, if you're a head coach, you got to know what you're getting. And you have to be able to look at it and understand what's happening. So he sees RG3 in practice, okay? So because he sees RG3 in practice, he has to know that Bob is a bum. You see what I'm saying? Like, we can say whatever we want to say as fans of the game and of the NFL and, whatever, fantasy football, all kind of crap like that. But if you're a head coach, think about it this way. If you're a head coach and you're looking at that player, you can't gauge it the way that we gauge it. You have to be logical and know, okay, this guy is a bum. We made a mistake. Let's pull back. Let's bench him and put somebody else out there just because, whatever. You see what I'm saying? Because you putting your balls in a Bob the Third basket, that doesn't look good for you. That's all I'm saying. I just want to leave it there. You guys leave a comment if you think that I make sense by what I'm saying. If you think that he shouldn't be fired, let me know. Hashtag Hugh Jackson. If you think he shouldn't be fired, hashtag Hugh Jackson. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. The Steelers, their bench was able to get the win. I don't know what to expect from them going into the playoffs. But we'll see. I don't expect them to win anything. I don't think they're going to the Super Bowl. But I'm going to get to the predictions later at the end of the video. If you want to skip to the end of the video to know the predictions now, you go ahead and skip to the end of the video right now. Or you can, go through it with everybody else and we can figure out, how I feel about the other teams. But I don't see the Steelers winning a Super Bowl this year. I'm sorry. Okay? Cowboys and the Eagles. The Cowboys were able to do a lot of things in this game. They were able to test out Tony Romo, Mark Sanchez, Dak Prescott got some reps. We got to see a little bit about the team. I like the way the Cowboys look. Let me just say something about Tony Romo. I was very surprised that jogging out to the huddle, he wasn't injured and put on IR for like 6 years. So that's good. He did look good. He did throw a touchdown. It was good to see that he still has a little bit of rapport with the receivers, blah, blah, blah. But the biggest story about this game, in my opinion, Mark Sanchez. Mark Sanchez, can you think about this right here? People have reputations, and we know Mark Sanchez, the butt fumble, all this kind of stuff. and blah, blah, blah. The guy's very inconsistent, stuff like that. I've said this forever. Even though I've called Mark Sanchez a bum, I always said he was a bum with a lot of talent. He makes bad reads. He does all kinds of crazy things. But do you remember when he was like, he played for, was he on the Eagles too? I'm trying to, like, he's been around, and this guy has played, and he has shown spots of magnificence. But he's also shown the butt fumble. And people hold things against you when you make very, very crazy mistakes, but when you're playing well, they don't like to talk about that. I'm here to tell you this right now. Mark Sanchez is somebody that is of great value that can help a team win. If you put him on a team, like the Denver Broncos never cut him, which is why Gary Kubiak probably is retiring. If they don't cut Sanchez, the Broncos are in the playoffs. Because if you look at Trevor Siemian and the other bum that they have there, the rookie, whatever his name is, I'm going to tell you this right now. Mark Sanchez is better than both those guys. Is Mark Sanchez going to lose you games? Yes. But he's also going to win you games. Because he's a risk taker, but he can throw the football. And people don't give him credit for the things that he can do. This man was out there just throwing nonstop dots. It's not about anything else other than the fact that he can make those plays. Remember when he came out as a rookie and what he did with the Jets? And we all see now Rex Ryan is fired, his brother's fired in Buffalo. Rex Ryan is not a good head coach. But Sanchez can do certain things. He can make plays happen. Regardless of what we want to say about him and we want to make jokes, the dude is just doing whatever he wants. He makes plays. And I think that, I'm not saying that he's like a top 10 quarterback. I'm saying that he can make plays in this league. And a lot of these teams, like the Texans, that have, Osweiler, a bum running around that proved outright that he's a bum. Sanchez in those same situations, I don't believe you get the same result. Like I said, again, this is my opinion because I've watched him through his highs and his lows, and I've given him credit and reamed him through his highs and his lows. And I think that he's a better quarterback when it comes to mediocre quarterbacks. I'm not saying that he's like up there with Tom Brady and the way Dak Prescott has played these boys, Roethlisberger. I'm telling you that he can make plays on a team with a good defense, similar to what Peyton Manning did in his decline with the Broncos. And I think the Broncos made a mistake by cutting him. And I said that when it happened because Trevor Siemian is a bum. And I don't think people understand what I'm trying to tell you. Is Trevor Siemian? Who's the other idiot that was there? I don't even care. The Broncos, they screwed up, and it is what it is. The Eagles, on the other hand, the Eagles have a lot of upside going into the new season. I like their defense. I think that Doug Peterson has a lot of things he has to figure out as far as going forward. But I think that Carson Wentz got a lot of reps. I think that Carson Wentz is going to be a competitor in this league, and I like where he's going with it. The Bills and the Jets. I don't know what happened to the Jets. I think the Jets suck. They won. The Bills fired Rex Ryan and his brother. Kudos to them. That's what I'm going to talk about. The Jets were horrible this year. They were horrid. I just hope that Brandon Marshall keeps his bet with AB, Antonio Brown, about the Bentley and the Porsche and all that stuff. You guys can go ahead and Google that if you want to know what that bet was about. Bears and the Vikings. Okay, Vikings, you took care of business. You should have been taking care of business the entire year. You can't come out and then now you want to take care of business. It doesn't work that way, bro. That's not the way this works. Hey, I'm going to tell you this right now. The Vikings really let down their fan base. And I have friends that are Vikings fans that I don't think they'll ever recover from the way that they started to the way that they finished. I don't think that the Vikings did anything to help revive looking forward to what they're going to be doing next year. They showed that they can start off hot and be a complete meltdown. That's all they've shown. They were very, very disappointing down the stretch. And I don't think that the way that they're built right now is the answer. They're going to have to make some changes. Jaguars and the Colts. Both these teams suck. They sucked all year. I think Andrew Luck is a joke. I don't think he'll ever live up to expectations. I think he's in a very easy division, and it says a lot that... Did they make the play? I don't think they made the playoffs. The Colts didn't make it, right? I don't think so. But we're going to get to Wildcard in a second anyway. But like I said, he's in a weak division. He makes some good throws, blah, 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 whatever like that. I don't think he has what it takes. I don't think that he's good. Like, again, living up to the money. I'm glad he got his money. As a player, very, very happy he got his money. I don't think it's fair to the fan base. And I want to give a lot of congratulations to the team owner that gave him that contract. Even though quarterbacks are hard to find, Andrew Luck has proven that he's going to throw a pick when you really need him the most. That's all I'm saying. I just had to get that out. I think that that's what he's going to do, and it is what it is. The Jags, horrid. So bad the head coach got to get fired, bro. It is what it is. We got to move on from it. Both these teams were a complete disappointment. Moving on. Patriots and the Dolphins. Obviously, we know that the road to the Super Bowl primarily is going to go through the Patriots. Tom Brady, it doesn't really matter what week it is, 17, 16, 15, what a playoff. This man, the Dolphins, though, obviously we know they're in the playoffs, but getting beat like this going into the playoffs is not really a good look. But we already know right now. I've already predicted the Patriots and Cowboys Super Bowl, several a while ago. But you have to be able to understand something. Tannehill being injured, right? People ask me, can the Dolphins win one game? No, they're not going to win one game in the playoffs. No, they're going home. They're going home. I'm going to talk about it in a second, but they're going home. They're going directly to their house to put their legs up in their couch and watch football from home after their first game. Kudos to them for making the playoffs, though. I never thought that this would have happened. I did not think the Dolphins were doing anything this year, so they deserve a lot of credit. I'm not saying they don't deserve credit. I'm just saying that they're going to get, it's going to be a wild beating going on in the first week. All right? If they win, the team that they beat, the head coach should be fired and the cheerleader should be fired. Those two things should happen simultaneously. But let's just talk about the fact that Tom Brady's the GOAT. Why is this man like 55 years old out there dotting up this D-line is supposed to be one of the vicious D-lines ever. Oh, blah, blah, blah. The Ndamukong Suh, he'll step in your face. All this stuff like that. What is he doing right now, though? What is the Ndamukong Suh doing? I don't know what he's doing at this point. That dude is a straight clown, though. Like, what's really happening with him? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I really just don't know what's going on, man. It's a complete disappointment. You spent all that money on a D tackle, which was stupid to begin with, and then nobody's doing anything. And then Tom Brady just doing what he has to do, and it's not working out for you guys at all. It's really, really stupid if you really think about it. But look, it is what it is, man. You take chances, you pay people, and you think it's going to work. Again, very, very happy you got his money. Am I happy for the fans? No, because that money could have been used elsewhere to help make the team better. The Ndamukong Suh, you know what I'm saying, bro? Like, will he step in your face? Yes, but that's not something you should pay him for. Chiefs and Chargers. Congratulations to the Chiefs taking care of the Chargers. The Chargers look, for everything that has happened to the Chargers, and I know that a lot of people they don't really like Phillip Rivers. I think he's a top 10 quarterback in the league. Does he throw a lot of interceptions? Yes, but he's without his major targets. He's without a lot of things. 3/4 of this team is on injured reserve, and it started from week 1. So when you look at his evaluation, he's thrown to Antonio Gates, a guy that's been trying to revive his career, but he should be retiring very, very soon. He's taking steroids. He's doing everything to try to maintain his time in the league. That used to be his major target. Remember when it was all about Antonio Gates, when you would draft in a fantasy football league and a fantasy football team, and you're like, gotta get Gates. Hashtag Gates, if you know what I'm talking about. If you ever drafted Antonio Gates, hashtag Gates in the comments right now, because every year that they were in their prime, I had him straight up. You know what I'm saying? Vincent Jackson, these boys, when they were balling, it's not like that no more, bro. Everybody gets hurt. Everybody's on injured reserve. Everybody just walks into the field and fractures their fibula. You know what I'm saying, bro? You go into the huddle, your eyeball drops out. Like, the Chargers have the worst luck. If you're a Chargers fan, hashtag luck. You know what I'm saying? Because you guys have the worst luck. I don't understand. I've never seen this, bro. How does a whole team go injured reserve? Like, nobody shows up to meetings. Everybody's injured. What do you want Phillip Rivers to do? There's no chemistry. He's throwing the ball. Guys are not turning around for back shoulder throws. I'm watching this, bro. Run a post route. The guy's running the streak. He throws the ball to the middle to pick. Like, if you guys got to understand, it's very, very simple. When the quarterback gives you, a 9 route, 7, whatever the route is, if they're waiting for the timing and you're not there, it's going to be an interception. It's not always the quarterback's fault. But because, I've been involved with football for a long time, I can let you guys know that. When you're in the huddle and you're told, look, this is what's happening, and the receiver does whatever they want, they don't care, they're doing whatever, you know what I'm saying, bro? Dudes is running routes that nobody even know what they're doing. They don't even know what they're doing. When that happens, it's nothing that you can't blame the quarterback for that. And a lot of the interceptions that was thrown, if you go back to those games and look at what was going on, you can look at the chemistry between the receiver and Phillip Rivers. There was no chemistry. There was nothing there. So what do you want him to do? It's realistically, there's nothing that he can do. You know what I'm saying? Like, the guy is trying to make plays, but if there's nothing there, if there's nobody there that he know, like, who are you? Like, he'd be in a huddle like, where you come from? Like, bro, dude's coming off the street to play with him, and everybody's mad at him because he's throwing interceptions. You guys got to be fair. Look, I'm one of the wildest savages when it comes to criticizing people because I'm going to give you credit and I'm going to bash you when it's time. I'm a regular, recap. I'm a regular host. I'm going to do what I have to do, and I'm going to give you guys honest opinions because that's why you listen. I can't blame Phillip Rivers for a lot of the things that he's done. Did he make bad reads? Yes, all quarterbacks make bad reads. But when you're playing with a team that's not your team completely, come on now. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. You got to look at, bruh, 3/4 of the team is on injury reserve. Dudes are just dead on the field. Bruh, dudes is leaving in helicopters. Bruh, come on. Let's cut it out. Chiefs, they are the only, look, they can make some noise. But we're going to go to the predictions later. But they can make some noise. I like the way the Chiefs are built. I like what they're doing defensively. And I think Alex Smith can do I think that Alex Smith is just enough to get them to where they need to get to right now with that defense. Cardinals and the Rams. Okay, the Cardinals, look, I don't know where to start with this. Carson Palmer is a bum. Winning this game means nothing. You beat the Rams. Woo-hoo. I think that, Pop Warner team could beat the Rams. The Rams have gone through a lot. The interim coach, he needs to be fired right now as I'm doing this recap. He's not the answer for this team. He has to be fired. He looks like he's dead. Like a zombie from The Walking Dead or something. I don't know what he's doing. I don't like him as the head coach. I think his father was a coach of the Giants at some point. I don't care. Get him out of there. And that's from me right now. He's not the answer. He can act like he has a lot of energy, stuff like that. He's not the answer for that team. They need to get rid of him, get a real coach in there. Put him back to special teams. Cardinals, look into the future. Fitzgerald gets another year older. Carson Palmer gets another year older. Carson Palmer needs to leave the league and give his money back. Dude is a bum, okay? He's going to lose when it counts, and that's pretty much it. I know Tyrann Mathieu being hurt, blah, blah, blah. One guy cannot make this team this bad, okay? So I don't want to hear that talk. They need to do a lot of different things. They got to fix the offensive side of the ball. They need a quarterback that's going to be able to make more plays and not interceptions. That's a start. That's a start what they need to do right now. Because Carson Palmer, will he show you, glimpses of, decent football play? Yeah, probably. Decent football play, yeah. But people hype him up because he won the Heisman. The dude is garbage. And I'm not going back away from that. He doesn't make plays when it's needed. I don't give a F. F you guys that like him. I don't give a F. Raiders and the Broncos. The Raiders lost their backup. But what is it? McLaughlin? I don't know what his name is. Dude is garbage. Broncos D-line was all up in him. And they put in Cook, a rookie, Michigan State. He went in there. He showed that he's going to do exactly what it takes for the Raiders to get raped in the playoffs. So that's pretty good. If you believe that the Raiders are going to win the game, #believe. If you know that they're going to get manhandled, #rape. It's over, bro. These dudes are going to get, I feel so bad. Derek Carr was the heart and soul of this team. Let's just be honest about it. When he went down and he said, I think it's broken or whatever he said, I felt for him, bro. When you work so hard and you're right there, and then something, that's the thing about sports, man, and why they have to pay these athletes. You work so hard to get to this point, and then it's just gone. Just like that. And everybody's wondering why they get paid so much money. This is, look, I'm not a Raiders fan. And when he said that, it hit me in the chest, bro. The dude was so much the entire team, the heart and soul of that team, bro. So much the heart and soul of that team. And for him not being there, we know the Raiders are not doing anything. The Raiders defense is not good enough to go ahead and try to make a miraculous run. John Madden ain't the coach. Cut it out, guys. Stop. All you delusional Raiders fans, stop it. None of that stuff is going on. Not going to happen. The Raiders are going home. We'll get to that in a second, though. The Broncos, complete horridness. But they came out and they played well this game. But, you're playing against two quarterbacks that one guy never took a snap. The other guy, he just looks like he should be drinking beer at an Irish, pub someplace. I don't know what they're doing. But they don't have Derek Carr. It's pretty much a wrap for them. Giants and the Redskins. Giants defense look crazy as F going into the freaking playoffs, man. I don't think anybody wants to play the Giants. I tell you this much. The only thing that can stop the Cowboys are the Giants. And the only thing that can stop the Giants are themselves. Because their D-line is running around like wolves looking for meat. I'm going to tell you this right now. The way they beat on the Redskins, it was embarrassing, bro. It wasn't something that I expected. I didn't expect them to play like this, especially with their playoff hopes and dreams on the line. The Giants manhandled them. It was manhandle. It was bad. It was bad. They beat the hell out of them. It's nothing to really, you know what I'm saying, bro? And this is what I'm talking about. I can't blame Kirk Cousins for this because his O-line was on vacation the entire game. But when it was time for him to make plays, he didn't. But can he throw for 400 yards a game most of the time? Yeah. Look, the guy's stats says it all. The guy can play football. You got to pay him. I'm just saying that he doesn't have that. I don't know, because I don't want to get into it right now. I'm gonna be in it for way too long. It's just something about him. It's something that I can't put my finger on it. Something about the guy. But can he throw for 400 yards a game? Yeah. Seahawks, 49ers. The Seahawks are garbage. They're not winning anything. Russell Wilson is a bum. You can't beat on the 49ers? Are you serious? Yo, this team is probably the worst team going into the playoffs, the Seahawks. I'm just letting you guys know this right now. The Seahawks do not look good. They look disgusting. Really, man. Chip Kelly, bro, he's fired, and I'm very, very happy about it. But let me just tell you something. They don't look good. The Seahawks, they look like trash. They really do, man. And I don't expect them to win anything. And I don't think they expect to win anything either. If you ask Pete Carroll, honestly, I think he'd tell you the same thing I'm telling you right now. They're not winning anything. This team is horrid. You can't beat the Fort, bruh. You win by 2? Okay. Yo, I don't want to hear any excuses, bro. I just don't want to even talk about it. I think going into the playoffs right now, the Seahawks are going to lose, probably in the first round. But do they get a bye? I don't know. They don't get a bye. They got to play Wildcard. They didn't. Yo, these guys suck, man. Look, we about to get right into. F these guys. All right, let me just take it easy. I just couldn't believe it because I think I bet this team to beat on the 49ers and they screwed me over. I think that's why I'm so mad, but it is what it is. Don't worry about it, guys. I'm just being emotional about it. They're not winning anything in the playoffs, though. All right, so the Saints and the Falcons. The Falcons came out as beating the hell out of them, but look, let's just call it what it is. Matt Ryan should be a candidate for MVP, and he's evolved. I don't think that they're going to win anything, but he's evolved. He's added that throw on the run, bro. When I watched him throw on the run yesterday, I was like, okay, yo, this dude got some legs now, and he's throwing like that. Okay, I was very impressed. I'm not gonna sit up here and lie to you guys. I was impressed. I was like, yo, this guy is doing different things now. It's actually showing that this guy he can make plays now with his legs, throw it, and his receivers are starting to gel with him. It looks good. I really thought that. I was like, wow, okay, this dude is really out here doing this thing. Do I think they're gonna do anything in the playoffs? That's interesting. We're gonna get back to that though because they're on the bye. But the Saints, I think they just gave Drew Brees more money. What I don't understand is, you know what it is? Drew Brees has shown me that he's had the problem. I think his receivers, I don't know. Yo, their defense sucks. We know the defense sucks. They can't stop anybody. But offensively, I think Brandon Cooks is a stud. I think he could burn anybody deep in the league. I think that it's tied. He's been hanging out with Fleener. I think Fleener's there, right? Yeah. I really think that offensively, the Saints are okay. I've been bashing Drew Brees for a while now. I think he's old and he can't throw the ball down the field. And I don't think he could get the ball to Cooks. I don't think he has the arm strength to get the ball to Cooks. And I don't think that he suits what they have going on there. You know what I'm saying? Like, because a lot of his receivers are very, very fast. Mike Thomas, these boys, I don't think he could get the ball down the field to him. I think he has to throw it earlier on post routes, hitch routes, and they got to run it for 6. And I think that that's the only part that hinders their offense because he can't really get the deep ball down because he doesn't have the arm strength anymore. That's my only problem with the Saints. And, well, not the only problem, and their defense is horrid. Packers and the Lions. The Packers proved to me last night that they are the better team. Aaron Rodgers, bro. Who was he throwing? He threw that touchdown when he was running around. Who was that? They said that, was it Allison or something like this? Look, I don't know what's going on, but Allison shouldn't be going anywhere anytime soon. Aaron Rodgers is one of the best quarterbacks I've ever watched play the game. Is he arrogant? Is most of the time he's a guy that very standoffish from his teammates, stuff like that. You cannot deny this man's greatness. You just can't. And if you deny his greatness, you're a fool. I'm just calling it how I see it. It's no way, bro. I watched this game. The Packers are leaps and bounds better than the Lions. Even when they weren't doing the right things, you could see that the biggest separation, Stafford may still be hurt with his finger, but Aaron Rodgers is by far the better quarterback. The team is a better team right now. They're playing a lot better. They ran the table to make the play. Like, it's just so many things that had to go right for the Packers. And it's the one thing it's universal that you have to be able to stop when you play the Packers. And it's Aaron Rodgers. Montgomery looked good. I thought he was hurt. That kind of scared me when he went off the field, but he came back and was playing pretty well. I think that the Packers are the only, this is another team that scares me in the playoffs, the Packers, because they have so much potential. We have to wait to see how it unfolds, man. But Aaron Rodgers, he a dog. How they say it in the South. Shout out to New Orleans. He a dog. Because I don't know how to explain it, man. They just look so much better overall. Maybe my eyes are deceiving me. I don't know. But we're gonna go ahead and move on to the wild card predictions, baby. Saturday, January 7th, 2017. Raiders at the Texans. Okay. The Raiders are gonna win this game. Let me tell you why. The Texans are trash. And defensively, the Raiders have enough to beat this team. The Texans technically shouldn't be in the playoffs. So, with Tom Savage having to go through the concussion protocol, all the stuff that's going on, blah, 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 all that stuff, I think that's going to benefit the Raiders. I think the Raiders defense are going to pin their ears back and just go. Blitz the run, blitz the pass, blitz everything, blitz special teams, blitz the punter. They will win this game. But after that, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Look, guys, I don't want to be a downer. I don't want to be Debbie Downer. But you guys should know at this point that the Raiders are not going to go into the Super Bowl. You're not doing that without Derek Carr. You don't have enough to get yourself over the hump. I don't even know who the quarterback's going to be. It's going to be Cook. I don't even know what's going on. I know the other guy was running around looking mad sad. He, oh my God, my shoulder, this, that. Like, bro, he's not the guy. McLaughlin, whatever his name is. He ain't the guy. The Raiders will win this game, though. Regardless if Osweiler plays, Savage, whatever. I love Tom Savage. I love the name. Texans ain't winning this game. They don't have enough. Texans fans, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to do, if you want to tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about, leave it in the comments. You guys feel free to leave in the comments and tell me why the Texans are going to beat the Raiders. Not going to happen. The Raiders don't need to score in this game. The Raiders do not need to score in this game. The Raiders need to play good defense, and their defense will score, and they will win this game. The Texans will not beat the Raiders. That will not happen. If that happens, let me just say something about the Raiders. If you guys can't beat the Texans, bro, oh man, you don't need Derek Carr to beat the Texans. You do not need Derek Carr to beat the Texans. Lions and the Seahawks. This game right here, I know I said the Seahawks suck for the last, whatever. The Seahawks are going to win this game. Why? Matthew Stafford, his finger is still bothering him. I saw it with a lot of the throws. I like Zenner, but Zenner ain't running on the Seahawks defense. It ain't going to happen. It's not. The Seahawks are trash when it compared to how they looked in previous years going to the playoffs. They look really, really bad. They're struggling. But the Lions, playing them with the 12th man, Seahawks at home, no. Jim Caldwell, I got to give you a lot of respect, man. I bashed you all year. You coached a hell of a season. Look, man, coming off of losing Calvin Johnson, all that stuff, and the stuff that you were able to do with your staff, you guys deserve a lot of credit, man. Enormous amount of credit. And I'll be the first to tell you, man, I didn't see this coming. Even though historically when Barry Sanders, whenever the GOATs retire from the Lions, they typically made the playoffs. Because when Barry Sanders did it, they made the playoffs. Calvin Johnson did it, they made the playoffs. I didn't see you doing this, Jim Caldwell. And I want to say, bro, kudos to you, bro. I thought you were the biggest, ultimate douche ever. And you came out and showed me that, listen, even a douche can be, non-douchey and take the team to the promised land, which is the playoffs, which is what every fan would want to see. So kudos to them. You guys ain't winning anything. The Seahawks are going to freaking manhandle you guys. You're not running the ball, and you got to deal with Sherman and all his crap going on, and then, you got another guy on the other side playing decent. It doesn't look good for the Lions. And Matthew Stafford, I believe, is still hurt. And, maybe he's not showing it as much, but I could see a lot with the way that he was throwing the football. He's not the same. It's not the same. Dolphins and the Steelers. The Dolphins are going home. Did they have a wonderful season? Yes. Do they suck? Yes. The Dolphins are going home, okay? I'm going to tell you why the Dolphins are going home. Because if the Dolphins don't go home, you got to fire Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin is a great coach, blah, 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 blah. If he doesn't win this game, I believe you have to fire him. I'm just saying what I feel. I don't care about it. You can't lose to the Dolphins. I don't want no excuses. I don't want to... Listen, you cannot lose to the Dolphins. Okay, Steelers? You guys have done it throughout the season where you've lost to mediocre, competition, stuff like that. If I'm going on record right now. If Mike Tomlin loses this game, he should be fired. I love the guy. I think the guy's a great coach. I love his grittiness, whatever like that. You cannot lose this game. I'm telling you right now, bro. The Dolphins win this game. I am going to be my podcast recap is going to read, fire Mike Tomlin. That's all I'm saying. That's how much confidence I have in the Steelers winning this game. That I'm willing to go against one of the, I love him as a head coach. But you can't lose this game. That would be completely unacceptable. The Dolphins are playing without Tannehill. They got some things that, look, I don't want to talk, look, no, I'm never going to stop making excuses for what actually happened. If the Steelers lose, fire Mike Tomlin. Giants and the Packers. This game right here is going to be so epic. But let me tell you something right now. The Giants are going to win this game. And a lot of you guys are going to say, why are you saying that when you just said that Aaron Rodgers is a bad man? The Giants secondary is... Dominic Raj-Kamadi went crazy last night of the Redskins. He's going to do the same thing on the Packers. You're not getting open, Jordy Nelson. Allison, you're not getting open. These boys can play. They got a great D-line. The Giants will beat the Packers. Listen, the Giants are the kind of team, bro, you don't want to play these guys in the playoffs. Never. I don't care. Eli Manning doesn't look anywhere where he's throwing the ball, but they somehow get the ball to OBJ. Listen to me. The Giants will win this game. Sorry, Packers fans. The Giants will win this game. I have so many reasons for why the Giants will win this game. They're going into the playoffs playing at the highest level they've played since the beginning of the season. There's no bye week. They're ready to go. They know that the only thing they have to worry about is Aaron Rodgers. The D-line's going to take care of that. They're going to be rushing 4. They got coverage out there. Remember how the receivers couldn't get open early in the season? Same exact thing is about to happen right now. The Giants' secondary is stout. Their D-line is stout. Eli Manning will be able to... He's going to throw some picks, but he's going to be fine. He's going to be able to get the ball to OBJ, Sterling Shepard and them boys. They're going to make some plays. They're going to be fine. The Giants are going to beat the Packers. Their long win streak and everything like that. Not saying that it was all for naught, but it's not going to be enough when it comes down to it for the to end the season. They had a great run, but the way the Giants look right now, man, no. I can't sit here and say that there's any way possible that they're gonna, that the Packers should beat the Giants at this point. I can't say that. The Giants have just been playing on a different level. They've looked very, very good. I cannot, in my right mind, pick the Packers to beat the Giants right now, based on the way I watched both teams play. No. So those are my predictions. I want you guys to know you can download this for free at GmiasWorld.com, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Android. Just search GmiasWorld Podcast. I want to thank you guys for listening. Happy New Year once again. I'm going to see you guys and girls next week. Good luck to your teams. One love.